The award-winning and hit TV series Game of Thrones has garnered a wide fan base with numerous awards and accolades to its name. It even got a renewed spin-off epilogue series titled House of the Dragon that takes a deeper dive into the rise of the Targaryen family. So if you are looking for some Game of Thrones-themed gifts for a die-hard fan or yourself, you are looking in the right place. Hello folks, and welcome to the channel. Giftible is here to present you with 10 Game of Thrones gifts for you and your friends, and our number 10 on the list is bound to get a chuckle out of you and your friends. Keep watching our video till the end to explore all of our creative gifts in today's list. Number 10. Iron Throne Chew Toy. While the Iron Throne is obviously made from some cold steel and iron swords that might leave some scars here and there, it would not be quite comfortable to sit on in the first place, so if you were looking for an Iron Throne to sit on, then you are barking up the wrong tree. 'Cause this right here is an Iron Throne Chew Toy for your dog. You might be confused and would not know what to do with an Iron Throne Chew Toy. If you're a House of the Dragon or Game of Thrones fan and want a decorative plush or a chew toy for your dog, then you are in luck. Otherwise, if you did not know if there was an Iron Throne themed chew toy for your dog, now you know. If you have a friend that loves Game of Thrones and has a dog, then this would be a great gift. And if they do not, well, that would confuse the hell out of them. Either way, having an Iron Throne chew toy would certainly make their day. Number 9. Tyrion Lannister Funko Pop. If you or someone you know loves Game of Thrones and are a big Tyrion Lannister fan, then we have got the right action figure for you. While this Funko Pop bears some similarity to Lannister in terms of details, it's also nailed his height down to the exact inches. But jokes aside, this is one of the more interesting Game of Thrones Funko Pops out there. So if you know a Funko Pop fanatic and a Game of Thrones fan, then they are bound to have a few Game of Thrones themed collectibles here and there. And if they still don't have this Tyrion Lannister Funko Pop in their collection, then make their day and gift them this cute little figurine. Number 8. Game of Thrones Birthday Card. Looking to impress a Game of Thrones fan with an awesome gift, but do not have the budget to do so? Well, you are practically in luck, cause this gift will only set you back by $10. You might be thinking, well, if it's just $10, then it won't be all that noteworthy. And you'd be definitely wrong there. Just do not say a word and give them this pop-up birthday card and watch their jaw drop wide open. The gift card pops up to reveal a 3D diorama of the Iron Throne along with Khaleesi's dragons and a few decorative flames. While that alone is bound to impress them, it still has one more ace in its deck of cards. The card reveals a button that plays the iconic Game of Thrones soundtrack that you can obviously listen to on repeat for hours on end. Beware, you might be listening to that soundtrack more often than you are used to. Number 7. Rhaenyra Targaryen Funko Pop. We have another Funko Pop on today's list, and it's none other than Rhaenyra Targaryen, the protagonist that tries to claim the Iron Throne as queen. It's perfect for Game of Thrones fans that are getting into House of the Dragon, and its first season has finally wrapped up. So if they are itching for the second season and cannot seem to get a grip on when they will see a release date come to light, get them this cute little and intricately detailed Funko Pop and put a smile on their face. Although the figure might not see the light of day in its neatly designed box, at least it will stay preserved for a long time. That is if your friend does not play around with his collectible figures. Number 6. House of Sigils Tumbler. If the Game of Thrones cast or the House of Sigils had coffee tumblers in their fictional universe, this is what they would drink coffee out of. We are not sure if coffee is a thing in the Game of Thrones universe or time period, but this is absolutely one of the best looking coffee tumblers that we could find. It's got beautiful symbols and icons neatly placed across the surface of the coffee tumbler, and are bound to excite any coffee-loving Game of Thrones fan on their birthday. So whether they are prepping for their next day or sitting down to rewatch the entirety of Game of Thrones, they can do so with this amazing tumbler right by their side. Number 5. Ned Stark Ice Sword. If you are looking to cosplay as Ned Stark or doing a late Halloween party or just looking for something to whack a friend with, then this Ned Stark Foam Ice Sword should just do the trick. This Eva Foam Ice Sword looks and feels like the real thing, except a bit too light and also soft and squishy. So if you are looking for a display piece and trick people into thinking you have an Iron Game of Thrones sword in your home, but won't let them hold it because it's dangerous, then this is the perfect display piece. You even get a collector's box with it. Or if you have anger issues and need to go full force against a friend, Game of Thrones style, then it wouldn't hurt at all to go ham on them with this foam ice sword. Number 4. Viserion Dragon Egg. Know a die-hard Game of Thrones fan that likes to keep merchandise all over their household? Are you wondering if things are getting a bit too out of hand? Then you could definitely spruce things up with this hyper-realistic and scaly dragon egg. To add to its authenticity, the replica dragon egg has been hand-painted to perfection with all the right details in place. It makes for a grotesque but befitting Game of Thrones prop for any fan looking for dragon eggs. They could display it in their bedroom or put it in a showcase. Just make sure it's nowhere near their living room, or if they like keeping their collectibles all neatly secure. It even comes with its own collector's box to keep it all safe and sound. You wouldn't want a dragon egg to crack, now would you? Number 3. Game of Thrones coasters. If you know a tea enjoyer, a tea enthusiast, or someone who just enjoys a nice cup of black coffee, then you know they need a few cool coasters to around with them too. And what better than a few Game of Thrones themed coasters? These Game of Thrones themed coasters are made out of solid cork and feature a high quality finish that won't fade at all. So if you need a cup of coffee and need to keep your tables and surfaces protected, then you will never go wrong with a gift set of Game of Thrones coasters. Number 2. Game of Thrones beanie. Winter is coming, or well, it's here to be exact, and you need to get some nifty winter gear too for that matter. With that said, you can never go wrong with a comfy and warm beanie to keep your noggin packed with heat to go up against the cold. So get a Game of Thrones beanie and stay in style. This beanie features an all-black background with Khaleesi's iconic three-headed dragon as the centerpiece for everyone to see. So if you're a proud Game of Thrones fan and want to show your allegiance to your favorite house, you cannot go wrong with this beanie in the cold, harsh winter. Number 1. Direwolf USB. A Game of Thrones fan can never go wrong with some extra Game of Thrones merchandise. This Direwolf USB stick in white can hold up to 4 GB of storage, but it looks pretty impressive with all the right details and a striking icy white finish. So if you're looking to store a few Game of Thrones episodes or a few iconic soundtracks from the beloved franchise, then be our guest. While 4 GB of storage is not a lot, it's not essential considering you're buying it for the sake of your dedication to the show. It makes for a neat everyday carry if you have a thing for such knickknacks, so keep it around and show it off if you are looking for a small conversation starter about Game of Thrones. Now you're pretty much set for what you need for your die-hard Game of Thrones fan and friend. Have a blast shopping from all of us at Giftible. Make sure to thumbs up the video if you like it and subscribe by tapping that bell icon to stay notified of more wonderful gift ideas in the future.